Podcast. I'm Louie, and as always, I'm joined by my bud Dave.
What's up? What's up?
What up, what up?
That's it.
So, Dave.
Yes, Lou.
That's it. The Halloween season is officially over.
That's it.
No
it's
more,
a bummer.
No more spooky commercials. No more jack-o'-lanterns in the street in front of people's houses.
Well,
well.
if you go out tonight, I do plan on going for a skate in a little while. You'll probably see some still. So if you want to get your last fix in of Halloween, I would say go out for a walk, because tonight's usually the last night it actually kind of feels somewhat Halloween-y. And then it's over after this.
maybe like the first week of November, people are still kind of lazy taking down the decorations. So
I have something to add to this.
Yeah.
There was a cool house over by me, and it's probably like a 5-minute drive. And I'll send a picture to you. Like, I'll do it when we're done recording, and you could post it up in the Haunted Hangover Instagram.
Yeah.
I overheard the homeowner telling somebody, because they asked them, how long do you plan on keeping the decorations up for? And he said they were going to be down by tomorrow night, meaning November 1st.
Damn.
Yeah.
So he wasn't joking. That Christmas wreath
crazy.
is going up quick.
Yo, insane. So some people take the shit down immediately.
Yeah, dude. I went to Target today, and like the Halloween aisle was non-existent. It was basically like a very, like, just small remnants of like a couple of pumpkins, some like leftover Halloween candy. Fucking sucks.
Dude, Sheila texted me when she got home, because she left my place this morning. She texted me when she got to Wegmans to do grocery shopping. She goes, and I get a picture, and she goes, do you want any? And the picture was an entire pallet of Frankenberry, Booberry, Count Chocula, and there was one more. I forgot which other one it was. But 50 cents.
Yeah,
50
dude.
fucking cents. I said, yes, I want 2 boxes of Count Chocula.
You could buy enough to last you the entire year until the following Halloween season, basically.
Yo,
at that price, 50 cents each? Crazy.
Insane.
But like, when I was at Target, like, there was an entire, like, the Christmas aisle, dude, was basically like completely out. Like, four aisles worth of like ornaments, trees, wreaths, Santa Claus decorations. It's fucking bananas.
Yep.
But I thought we'd do a little recap, I guess reminisce about this past Halloween season, even though it's always
Recap
Halloween.
Sounds good. Yeah.
It's always Halloween for us, and we kind of we do keep the spirit alive.
We keep that flame. We keep
all
that flame
year round. Even with the holidays coming up, we do tend to do some holiday related stuff, in November, later this month and in December, but we just wanted to kind of go through some stuff we did. Now, before we jump into that, I want to ask you something. Did you notice a difference this October to last year's October because of the pandemic and everything?
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude. Everything was like way busier, more people, packed. It's fucking crazy.
But yeah, it definitely felt like Halloween. There was people out. I felt that there was more people out in the day than at night. But we were walking around, Sheila, myself, our friend Sean, we were walking around until we met up with our boy, Tommy Valley, a.k.a. Tommy Nuts, a.k.a. Tommy Donuts, a.k.a. Tommy Snatch Your Girl, a.k.a. Tommy Jack-O'-Lantern, a.k.a. Tommy Pumpkin Spice Carvings. We were waiting around for him, and we were walking around, and like it was an area where I was very familiar with getting into mischief on Halloween.
Yeah.
I was explaining to them stories, and I was like, it honestly feels like Halloween. And I said it. I was like, there's still people out. There wasn't a ton of people out, but it was like 9 o'clock. There were still kids trick-or-treating, but it was a little on the lighter side, but it still felt like Halloween, and it was a very nice feeling. And I even said, Halloween is in full effect right now, and I love it.
For sure. And I think the only reason why things ended a little earlier is because Halloween was on a Sunday, school night.
Sunday, exactly.
For the kids, they have to get home at a certain time and go to bed because they have to wake up for class today. Last year, unfortunately, Halloween was on a Saturday, but the pandemic kind of put an axe on trick-or-treating and things like that. That's the first thing I noticed. There were way more trick-or-treaters this year.
So we were having a discussion while we were walking around, and I gotta say, our plans were like kind of like in the air up until like the last minute. So we were just so happy walking around the just around suburbia on Halloween, just seeing all the houses and some kids out, and it was just great. But we had gotten to a discussion of like how long you were allowed to stay out till on Halloween, and I was gonna ask you. So for me, like for my generation, being born in 1983, we were allowed to stay out till like 11 on a school night. If it was on a school night, we were allowed to stay out till like 11 o'clock. Like midnight was pushing it, but usually around 11 o'clock was like, you got to come back home. So
yeah, if I remember correctly, so for me, I think, so it depends because obviously when you're like under the age of 12, it's basically when like your mom wants to go home because trick-or-treating's over and that's it. But as like a teenager, if I remember correctly, it was like as long as I was home before midnight, that was kind of like the deal. Like, all right, be home before midnight, because again, I lived in New York City, so usually it'd be me as a teenager taking the subway somewhere. So my mother would be like, no. Trains run local after midnight. All the crazy people are out there after midnight, so make sure you're home before midnight. So, yeah, probably 11. I'd agree with that time. That's usually the time I'd get home from any Halloween shenanigans I got into as a kid.
For sure.
I'm sure for teenagers, that's probably the way it was, especially on a school night. Like, you had to be home at a certain, because you had to fucking go to school the next day. So, So you kind of had to be up. You don't want to get up and have that really sluggish, shitty first day of November after Halloween. That's true. So, so for sure. You know what I do want to talk about are our Halloween costumes. Now you mentioned, I believe a few times, I think in our 2 last episodes, that you were gonna dress up as the bow tie killer. And your girlfriend Sheila was going to dress up as Junior in the devil outfit. I saw them both in person. Phenomenal. You did a phenomenal job, both of you guys.
Thank you.
Now, what I want to know, and unfortunately Sheila's not on the podcast to talk about where she got parts of her costume. We're going to have her on
one day.
I'm sure we will. And maybe you might be able to answer some of what she did with her costume. But what I want to know is, how did you put together your bow tie killer costume? And before that, does he have a first name? I was trying to think the other day.
So,
in the movie, in Problem Child.
Someone on Facebook had said the name, and I guess in the movie I don't pay attention to the name.
Yeah.
So I just pay attention, and he is referred to mostly as the bow tie killer. Yeah. But I think it's Martin Beck. I think is his actual name.
Oh, okay.
But I'm actually looking this up right now, live.
Yeah, because I was trying to think of it. I was like, we keep calling him the bow tie killer, but he must have had a full name in the movie.
Yeah, it's Martin. It's Martin, the bow tie killer Beck.
The funny thing is, everyone's just like Kramer, right? Because that's who they think of.
It's Michael Richards.
Yeah. Someone at the party we were at was like, Kramer, right? I'm like, it's not Kramer technically. No. It's not Kramer, but it is the same actor. But yeah, how'd you put that costume together?
So we were watching Problem Child, and I was just like, I should go as a bow tie killer, and you should go as Junior. And then Sheila was like, oh, I would love to do the devil costume. So I was like, even better. So we were just like, yeah, this is like a fun movie to do. It's one of those, oh my God, you're this. Like, you know what I mean? It's not exactly like, someone's going to know it immediately, but some will. It's like a little bit of a deep cut. And we had a plan for a few months, so we were, we were putting it together in dribs and drabs for at least 2 months. And I found my shirt at a Goodwill.
Yeah, it was.
And that was like almost perfect, like the color of the shirt. And the pants he wears are just kind of like basic Cintas work pants that he had, so I have them for my job. So I was like, I literally have this exact costume. And for his like prison number, we took a white shirt of mine and we measured it out. Sheila measured it out, really. And then Sheila drew the numbers like a stencil to make it look like it was stenciled on, which I was very impressed at. And she sewed it on, and then I sewed half of it. She showed me how to sew. So I also learned how to sew.
You learned something.
Doing this. And, and then I asked my buddy for a cigarette. He gave me a cigarette, and Sheila wrote like a little cute note to me on a note, and I kept, I carried that around. That was my costume. Oh, I'm sorry. I am leaving out the most important part, the fucking bow tie. So we had gotten in touch with our wonderful friend Tina.
Yes.
Who you went to her, which we'll get into, I'm sure, in a little bit, her Halloween party.
Yeah.
And she made us both bow ties.
Fantastic.
And they came out like spot on.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Tina.
That was honestly, like, if you're a fan of Problem Child and you saw, they'd be like, wow. Like, if you wanted a replica of one of the bow ties from the movie, because you don't really see that sold anywhere. It's not a thing. So I was, like, impressed at how good of a job she did with those bow ties. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, we were spot on. Like I got to say, I'm tooting our own horns here. Our costumes
I do want to point out,
just
the cigarette, because we were at, we're going to talk about the parties and stuff later. But the cigarette, every photo you're in, dude, like when we're together or just you put so much emphasis on the cigarette because you're not a smoker. So it's just funny because you pull it out. That's and you're just like,
no,
here it is. It was so funny. You had it behind your ear. I think it was like
I had it in my ear the whole party.
We've got like 2 or 3 photos together where you're just like holding the cigarette out, and I'm like, "There's Dave with the one cigarette." So good.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun putting that together.
The previous owner, he mysteriously disappeared because I killed him. Drinks on the house. And I've not looked back since. I now go by the name of Daytona. Jackie Daytona.
So my costumes, I had 2 of them.
Which was also great.
So we had an A and B costume. B was kind of like the not as extravagant as the A costume. It was just something we wore just to have. Like, that was quick. It didn't take a lot to kind of put together. So we just had something to throw together. But, and I know you're a fan of the show, Andrea, my fiance, and I finally, and I've mentioned this on the show as well, we finally took us 6 years, but we did a whole couples costume thing this year.
Never too late.
Never too late, and we did it twice this year, almost 3 times, and I'll explain in a bit. So I'm going to talk about the A costume because that's the costume everyone liked and everyone enjoyed, but we decided to dress up as Laszlo and Naja from What We Do in the Shadows. My costume was specifically his Jackie Daytona persona, which...
Yep.
If you've never watched What We Do in the Shadows, you're going to be like, what the fuck is Jackie Daytona? It is kind of... You have to be a fan of the show to get the reference.
It's great.
But it's a persona he puts on to go into hiding for owing a vampire money. Yeah, the show is about vampires living amongst humans.
To be specific... The vampire he owes money is Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker.
Yes, and doesn't he owe him only like $60 or some shit?
No,
like
I think it's like a few. I thought it was a few $$1,000s or something.
Oh, was it?
$200. It was like $200 or something.
It wasn't much. Or
it's
some
fucking
shit.
funny though.
It's amazing. So we were dressed up as Laszlo and Naja from What We Do in the Shadows. So we were thinking about what we were going to do. We had a couple of ideas we were tossing around, and we finally, her and I love the show. We watch it all the time. I'm always putting it on. The recent season's amazing. It's great. We love it. And we were like, let's just do this because of how much of a kick we get out of the show and how much we enjoy it. So my costume was pretty simple because in the show, he's kind of wearing like dad jeans, and through most of it, he has on like this like Seinfeld puffy shirt and a black vest. So the jeans were pretty easy to, because I have a pair of blue jeans. Now, don't get me wrong, I was not happy with the fit of the jeans because they were a little more fitted, and his pants are like super wide leg and ugly and horrible. So like my jeans were blue, and I was like, I'm not gonna buy a pair of like shitty, ugly, like baggy, huge. I
wouldn't have either,
because I'm never gonna wear them again. I was like, that would have been a waste. But the puffy shirt, pretty easy to find. Found that on Amazon. I don't wear vest, like dressy vest. It's not really my thing. Like those. Is that what you would call those? Like a dressy vest or one of those fancy vests or whatever.
Yeah, a dressy vest, I would call that too.
Yeah, lucky enough, our bud Chrissy P, he's a vest wearer. I was able to borrow.
My man Chris.
Our boy Chris, I was able to borrow one of his black vest. And it was so easy, dude. And then I bought a cowboy hat because in the episode, and I couldn't find a hat that looked exactly like the one he wore, but like you got the point. It was like this brown, ugly cowboy hat I bought at Spirit. Really easy. Then we got like cheap Fangs, which surprisingly I think I might have worn these once before, but didn't do it right. But they're those Fangs that you put like that silly putty shit in them. I don't know if you've ever seen them before.
Oh, they stick to your gums?
Yeah, you like put this putty into them. You boil it, put it in hot water, and it kind of like, it gets all gooey, almost like a paste, and you shove it in and stick it in your teeth. And surprisingly, I thought we were gonna fail. Dude, I was able to wear those like half the night. They didn't fall out.
Yeah.
And they were pretty comfortable. And then again, the cowboy hat. But the most important thing was, and this is what everyone got a kick out of, was the toothpick. I had an entire bag of toothpicks in my pocket.
The biggest factor of that costume is the toothpick.
And I had literally the entire night had a toothpick in my mouth, just like an asshole. I was making drinks.
And you had extra toothpicks.
Yo, I dropped like 5 of them, and funny enough, I got a text today, and Chris goes, dude, I found like 4 toothpicks in my apartment on the floor. And I was like,
that's amazing.
Yeah. So that was it. I even painted my nails, and Andrea just kind of added some like powder on my face to make me look paler. I already have a beard. The only thing missing was my hair length isn't as long as his in that season. Like his hair now.
You guys don't have the same kind of hair.
Yeah, but it was close enough. I was like, I was wearing the hat, so like the hat was kind of the balance to make it look as on point as possible. And Andrea as Naja, she was able to find a like black dress. She looked great. Yeah, she did a great job. She found the wig. She was able to.
I thought that was her hair. I said, "Is that your hair?" She goes, "No, this is a wig." Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. My sister thought they were extensions, but she was like, "No, this is completely a wig she's wearing."
Yeah, you guys pulled it off. It was very good.
Yeah, and she wore, boots and everything. She did a really good job. She even found a like gem that was green, like in the Superb Owl episode where they go to the Super Bowl, and she says her mother's spirit is in like this gem, trapped in this gem or some shit. So she found a little gem that kind of looked like it. So we both, again, we just got a kick out of dressing up as these two characters. And again, the toothpicks were just fucking hilarious. Like I had to. That was like the most important thing. That was the most important thing with the guys. Like I need the toothpick. And our B costume, which I saw a lot of people dress as this year for some reason.
B Squad. Yeah, it was like, a popular. It was a popular couples costume.
Yeah,
sure.
And I think I have a feeling. I think the reason why is because a new movie was announced. And like it's coming out in January, so I think a lot of people are getting like nostalgic for Scream, so they dressed up these characters. But we just did like a quick Casey Becker, Drew Barrymore in the movie, and Ghostface couples costume. Originally, the idea was to like swap the gents, so like Andrea was gonna be Ghostface and I was gonna be Casey Becker. So one of the parties we went to, she was Casey Becker because of her makeup. I kind of felt bad. She like did all of her makeup and to put the mask. I was like, I'll just dress up as Ghostface, whatever. But then on Halloween, we didn't do Laszlo and Naja. We did Ghostface again, but we swapped. I was Casey Becker with the wig and the white sweater, and then she was Ghostface. So that was just kind of our easy, like, quick costume to wear on Halloween. And, you know, just because I feel like, you know, especially if you're going to a couple events, because we had 1 or 2 events we were going to, we're like, all right, we don't want to, like, wear all, like, the cowboy, the whole day I'm wearing all a big-ass puffy Seinfeld shirt, and she's got all this stuff on. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So I was like, you know what, we'll have a simpler costume for some of the events.
Well, I also have to throw Sheila some extra credit here. Yeah. So, not entirely a Halloween costume, because she didn't do it for Halloween, but we did go to Monster Mania this year. Yeah. And she's been planning on this. She's been planning this cosplay for months. So she went as Mary Lou from Mary Lou Prom Night 2. Or Hello, what is it? Hello Mary Lou Prom
Hello
Night
Mary
2, I think
Lou
it's
Prom
called.
Night 2. Yeah,
right.
That's it.
And she went as Mary Lou. She fucking killed it.
Yeah, she nailed it.
She had the fucking rocking horse.
That was the biggest commitment. That was to me like she dragged around the rocking horse, dude, which is crazy.
Well, we rigged it up on these little wheels. We got these. Yeah, I
saw that.
We found these little wheels that we had gone to like a Lowe's beforehand.
Yeah.
To get these wheels for the horse. And she painted that thing. She put a fake tongue on the horse.
Yeah.
She fixed like the cracks in the horse. And then
she did a great job,
her
man.
burn. Yeah, she did. I did her burn makeup, and then she did more makeup over the burn makeup. She just really, really did a wonderful job. And she was a fucking hit. She was a hit.
She was probably the best. She had to have been the best cosplay at that event.
They had you know what's funny? They had a costume contest, and she had no intentions of joining. And one of the workers was like, "You should join the costume contest."
Yeah.
So she's like, "Okay, sure." And she didn't win. Some freaking Scooby Doo thing won. It was just somebody in a fucking big furry mask. That's all it was.
Okay.
They won. Everybody went up to her and said, "You should have won." And she's like, "I don't care." She goes, "I just wanted to do this cosplay." So, one last thing. So, we went up to Joe Bob and Darcy. They were doing a signing.
Yeah.
And Darcy is apparently a huge fan of that movie.
Yeah.
She literally stopped what she was doing and went, "Oh my God." And she got up and took a picture of Sheila and told Sheila, "You have the best cosplay I've ever seen at a con." And Sheila was just like, "Oh my God." It was really great to see. Yeah.
She did a fantastic job. Yeah, you know what it is probably with that whole costume contest? People probably didn't know. Prom Night 2, it's made a resurgence in the last few years, but it's not as popular as fucking something like Scooby-Doo. So it's like...
It's interesting how things are coming back into like... You know, like are coming back to the surface and like popular, which I actually like. I want to rewatch Prom Night 2. I have not seen it in forever. So,
wow, I'm surprised you guys didn't watch it together before you guys went.
No, we want to. We have it on our list, but it's
great
just we haven't had a chance. Yeah.
There's things about it I like more than the original, and I love the original as well. Yeah. But the first two are phenomenal. But props to Sheila. She did kill
Sheila
that
rules.
cosplay. She did kill that cosplay. And like a lot, but she commits to like all her cosplays are like detailed as hell.
Yeah,
so that's even going back to the junior and bow tie killer costume you guys had. She put a lot of detail into her outfit, which is again takes commitment. She commits.
Oh yeah, she's committed.
Now let's go into some Halloween parties we went to.
Sure.
Well, I went to 2.
I only went to 1, so this is gonna be a quick. I went to 1, and that was our boy Chrissy P's party, which we had a great time. We really did have a lot of fun.
We had fun. Yeah, we had a good time at that. We got to all hang out, all 4 of us, the Haunted Hangover squad,
Haunted Hangover
Sam,
there.
Tommy Knuckles. We were all there, just chilling. A couple of us drinking, playing Uno, dancing to random.
I have that as my highlights. I wrote highlights. Playing Uno, Tito new metal moshing, and Sheila wilding out to Misfits songs. That was just like my 3 favorite things. Oh, and then your mannerisms were really funny too, like with the whole like you do like a pose with your finger with like a bottle, and it was really funny.
I was trying to stay in character, man.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good party.
No, it was very good. We had a lot of fun. It's always good, man, to go to at least one, even if it's just a get together with friends. Like, it's just fun to dress up, talk a lot of shit, bullshit together. And we always do stuff together on Halloween, like us as friends. So it's like something, we have to do something together. And this was like the first time Sheila's met like everyone kind of.
Yep, she got to meet everybody. Yeah, it was awesome.
You know, Chris decorated his apartment really nice. He had lights up. He had a big I love this Happy Halloween banner. It reminded me of like when you watch a movie or like something an old, like in the 90s, like those old Happy Halloween. It was really cool that he had that. And you know,
it was like made out of felt. It was like cut out of felt.
Yeah. There's a good picture, and I'm sure the visual version of this podcast on YouTube I'll probably add. There's a picture of me, you, and Tommy Valley, and it's like right behind us. And I think I'm pointing to the camera, and then you're like, you can see the sign. You can see Tom behind, like one of us, I think behind me. Just like it looks very Halloween-y. Works very well. Yeah. That was a fun get together just to kind of be with everybody. But my sister Sam also had a little Halloween party. Kind of like a going away type of deal on Halloween. She wasn't sure if she was going to do it. She ended up, it was an early party too. It was like over by 8 o'clock. She didn't want, she actually had a flight today to go to Florida. So she was like, I can't party till 3 a.m. Plus Halloween again was on a Sunday. So it's like, how hard can you really go on a Sunday night? But she did a great job too. She decorated, she lit her apartment really dark with like black lights and ghosts hanging from the ceiling. She did a great job on all of my sister. You know, she's another one.
She's very good at cosplaying, yes.
And her cosplay and her costume, she takes them very serious. She was dressed up as Frankenfooter from Rocky Horror on Halloween. I saw. She did a great job at Chris's party. She was dressed up as Jennifer from Jennifer's Body. She did a great job. She did Patrick Bateman from American Psycho, one of the parties, which I'll get to that party in a minute. So she's another one. She goes all out. Her little party was great. She was playing a lot of music. We all went. We were dancing. Good time as well. Also went to Christina's party, who made your bow ties. I went to one of her little Halloween get-togethers. And there's one thing I will say about Christina's parties. Dude, her front yard is sick.
Yep.
It's like a fucking haunted house. Like, and she always gets her hands on those big-ass skeletons. Like, I remember we went last year. You couldn't make it this year, but last year we went together. And she had the big skeleton.
First time I ever seen it. Like, in real life.
Me too. And, like, I remember it being hard to find. And then this year, she got a second one that's like the big pumpkin skeleton. Like, with the big pumpkin head. And I was like, damn, dude, you get you're able to find these guys. And she had the blow-up thing. She had a cemetery. I took pictures of and video of the haunted Hangover jack-o'-lantern for this year and on her lawn. She did a fantastic job.
Yeah, she does a good job. I saw the pictures you guys posted. It looked awesome.
The lighting is always on point. Definitely a Kodak moment. If you want to get a good photo in front of Christina's house, it's always sick. And her party's always great. Lots of food, booze, you know.
Yeah.
Always a good time. But I always tell them, like, dude, the decorations are just always a highlight when it comes to her parties. Yeah. She definitely sets the ambiance in her house. So it's always
she's
good.
not far from us either. It's not even like it's a far drive. It's like it's like an hour and change. Yeah. Nothing.
Not bad at all. You know, nope. It's crazy. I was thinking about it. I was like, damn, I went to 3 parties this year. Like,
yeah, good for you.
And that goes to show you, like, how different COVID, like the pandemic being in kind of a better place in 2021, where people are just having parties this year. Like, 'cause last year people were like, not many parties. Like, my mom had a party, but not many people wanted to have parties. This year, everyone's going fucking crazy with their Halloween parties. So I'm all for it. A good Halloween party or get together, to me, is always probably it's one of my favorite things to do. I always try to go to one, man. Always try to go to one. Yeah. This year I went to fucking 3, which is crazy. So I was like, God damn, gotta take a break. Getting too old to be partying this much.
Party man.
The party boy.
Hi, I'm Chucky. And I'm your friend to the end. Heidi fucking ho. Ha, ha, ha.
So let's go into, this is another fun thing I wanted to talk about, because in these post-Halloween shows, we never do this, and I was like, you know what, we should talk about this, because I feel like this is a very important aspect of Halloween, and that is movies, just some movies or TV you watched this season, whether it's something new or old. Is there anything like you sat down and watched and you were like,
I got a whole
what did
list.
you watch?
I'm going to read it off right now.
Let me hear it.
So, movies. This is just strictly movies. Bingo Hell, Pumpkinhead. Saw Pumpkinhead at the Mahoning Drive-In Theater, which was amazing, on 35 millimeters. So
that looked cool. That definitely looked cool.
Yeah. VHS 94, Angel, We're All Going to the World's Fair, Scary Movie, but not the one everyone is, it's the one from 1991.
Yeah.
Halloween Kills, Ernest Scared Stupid, There's Someone Inside Your House, Halloween 5, Night of the Zombies, which was another Mahoning movie, Return of the Living Dead 3, Bloody New Year, Hocus Pocus, Train to Busan, The Guest, Slumber Party Massacre, the 2021 one, which I do not recommend, and television shows, Are You Afraid of the Dark, Erie, Indiana, The Chucky Show, which is surprisingly really good.
Yeah.
And Squid Game.
Very, very good stuff.
We watched a lot. I've been watching a lot lately, and this is just October.
Yeah.
This is just shit I watch in October. So Sheila and I, we get down with the movies and TV shows. We enjoy watching a lot of stuff.
I'll be honest, dude. Like, for me, this October was just fucking crazy. Like, October is always nuts for me. Like, between my life, personal life, and Haunted Hangover, I never get to watch enough shit. Like, I just never get like that. I don't get that much time. Like, I'm looking at my letterbox and I'm like, damn, I like did not get enough in. So like, I'm just gonna pick October, and this is kind of sad. That's what I did. Yeah. So, Seance, which I really enjoyed, that was on Shudder. That's like a new movie. I believe the dude, his name is Simon Barrett. He wrote The Guest. Mm-hmm. This is like his. I don't think it's his directorial debut, but it's like his first, I guess, big movie. VHS 94, and I'm going to get to that in a second because I'm curious what you thought. We'll talk briefly about that. Halloween Kills, which we're going to get to that a little later as well. Halloween, the 2018 one, because I wanted to after watching Halloween Kills, and Dre and I were like, let's watch the 2018 one because it had been a while. I think it's like since it first came out. So we're like, let's watch it again. Mm-hmm. And then Rocky Horror Picture Show, which I try to always squeeze in every October. I just love Rocky Horror. It's like, I'm not a musical guy, but I just think that movie's great.
That's fun.
And TV, dude, that Chucky show, I'm one episode behind currently. The last one I watched was the Halloween episode.
Right,
dude,
same here.
So much fun.
It is.
They're doing like a great. I never thought a Chucky show would work, but it fucking works. Yeah. I was
and
like,
Brad Dourif is even doing the voice of Chucky.
Dude, I remember when I was seeing and they were like showing commercials and shit for the show like way in advance, and I remember being like, how are they gonna make this like an hour-long, 45-minute-long series, like 6 episodes, 7 episodes, 10 episodes, whatever, with Chucky? But dude, so far, like, it totally works. And then for TV, this isn't Halloween related, but Dark Side of the Ring, which is a fucking great wrestling show.
I haven't watched any of it. I'm so mad at myself for not doing it. This season is great. What We Do in the Shadows, new season is on. All in October. That too. I forgot to add that to my list. Yes, we will watch that.
I've been watching that. Back in September, in late September, so I'll kind of cheat a little bit here, but me and Dre and I watched the entirety of Midnight Mass, which I loved. I thought Midnight Mass. Loved this too. Yeah, I thought it was great.
I didn't watch it.
I'm a big Mike Flanagan fan. I think he's a great filmmaker. I love his series. I love his films. So I knew going into it, I was like, I'm gonna fucking like this show, and I did, or mini series, because technically, or series, not mini series. It's what do you call when it's like one run? I forget what the.
It's like it's a mini series.
Whatever, a series, whatever. It's 10 episodes or 8 episodes. Squid Game, I have not dived into yet. I can't wait. I
fucking loved it.
I know. I've just from what I've read, I didn't read any spoilers, but like reviews, I'm pretty sure. I'm about 99% sure I'm going to love that show. It just looks like it looks right up my alley. But yeah, I didn't get to watch enough movies this year. Like I just never get between editing and working on stuff. There's just not enough time in the day for me at least to sit and watch a bunch of movies. I did watch on Halloween night, and these are going to be quick reviews because I want to get back to VHS 94. But I did watch, Andrea and I watched late on Halloween night. We watched the new paranormal activity. I think it's called The Next of Kin. Sucked. Horrible.
I have no desire to see it.
Yeah, it was one of those things where you're like, let's just put it on. It was like on Paramount Plus. It's Halloween. We were eating pizza. We were like, all right, let's put it on. It was like midnight.
So wait,
threw it on. Yeah.
What exactly did you... So I don't think we had planned to talk about this, but we might as well. What did you exactly do on Halloween?
So, on Halloween.
Halloween.
So
on actual
I
Halloween.
hung out with my fiance Andrea's family because she has nieces and nephews. Mm-hmm. So we went out with them during the day to go trick or treating. That's something we do every year. You know, we don't have kids, so we go with her. We go with her sister's kids, and we go walk around, watch them trick or treat and stuff. It's really cute. They're really little. They're like 7, 8. They're little kids. You know, they're little guys, so they're running around in their costumes. We were dressed up, you know, just did all that. Then after that, we went to my sister's party on Halloween. So that was kind of. Then we got pizza, went home. We were like, let's watch a movie. Nice. And unfortunately, it was Paranormal Activity: The Next of Kin, The Next of Kin, which is I think that's the name of it. It was not very memorable, not very good. I wouldn't call myself a huge Paranormal Activity fan, but like, it was a very boring movie, and the last act did not save it for me specifically. There was a couple of one or two cool moments in the movie, but nothing where I was like, damn. This is intense, you know, so I was just kind of like, whatever. But yeah, VHS 94, and then we'll move on to other things this past October. But what did you think of VHS?
Whoa, you're not going to ask me what I did on Halloween?
Oh, and what did you do on Halloween? Sorry.
Damn.
How rude of me. Sorry, Dave.
Holy shit.
My bad.
Well, if you must know, we got bagels in the morning. And Sheila does not have access to the best bagels over in Pennsylvania. So anytime we get bagels over here, it's a treat for her. So we got bagels for breakfast, and then we kind of just relaxed during the day. Yeah. We watched, you know what? This is a movie I did not put on my list because I have a little bit left of it. I didn't finish it. Yeah. Crybaby Lane. Do you remember that movie that was made for Nickelodeon? Yeah. It's okay. It's not that great. I could totally see why it was removed from the, from the syndication or whatever it was on, from Nickelodeon. It's a strange, definitely not a kid's movie, but that's besides the point. So we ended up walking around for a bit. We went to a cool house. Then we were meeting up with Tom. We were meeting up with our friend Claude, our friend Jay, our friend Nick. And then we ended up at the Long Island Monster Gallery.
We ended
up going there, and it was actually like a really great way to close out Halloween. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Those sculptures, mannequins. I don't know what you want to call them. Not mannequins, but
figures.
Figures.
Yeah.
They were really well done. It was really cool.
There's a full review of it on our channel.
I know,
yes,
there is.
That I did.
Definitely worth it. And I was teetering on it. I was teetering on not going because I was like, $25, but it is worth it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool experience.
We went to a diner, and then the diner didn't really have many options for Sheila, being that she's vegan. Yeah. And we ended up, I said, you know what? I'll wait. And we got Burger King. And then we went back to my place. I had I had everybody over, and we watched Night of the Demons, the remake. and that was it. Everybody went home at like 3 a.m. So we actually went out. We were out there for a bit. We were out there pretty late on Halloween.
That sounds like a fun Halloween. Your Burger King. What'd you get from Burger King?
That new chicken sandwich. It was okay.
Have it your way. That's Burger King's slogan, right?
I haven't eaten like fast food like that in like a long time. I have no desire to eat it again.
It's Halloween.
Yeah, no. I was eating candy all fucking day.
Yeah, me too. I've been eating like shit the whole month. I'm gonna fucking go on like a detox or some shit.
There it is.
This month. But speaking of attractions, you mentioned the Long Island Monster Gallery. Let's talk about some haunt attractions and shit that we did this month. I reviewed a couple. Again, Long Island Monster Gallery. I reviewed that, and I also reviewed the Haunted Overload in New Hampshire. Those are both on our channel and in the podcast feed. So I'm not going to go into too many details on those two haunts because I did kind of dedicate 2 episodes and videos on them individually. So definitely go check those out if you're curious on my thoughts, since I know Dave has not. Besides the Monster Gallery, you've never been to Haunted Overload.
That's on the Haunted Overload is on the agenda for next year.
Yeah, definitely.
We already started planning the shit for next year.
Oh, so. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to plan in advance. Haunted Overload was awesome, dude. If you're a Halloween, my quick review here in my 5-second review. If you love Halloween, you have to go to Haunted Overload.
3, 4,
That's it.
5. Okay, there it is. You did. You stayed in 5
and listen
seconds.
to our review, and go listen to my review over on the Haunted Hangover YouTube channel, or a few episodes ago in the podcast feed. It's available there, and I go into greater detail, and I even have some video up on the YouTube version, so go check that out. I actually have a review coming up. There is a haunt there's 2 haunts I went to that there's no review yet for them. One we went to together, which I don't think I'm going to do a review for because it was free, and it's more of like a home haunt type deal. And then the second one is Darkness Rising. I won't go into too many details of the Darkness Rising haunt because I'm going to talk about it more in depth in our review. But we went to one. It was called what was the name of that one?
Terror on Totten.
Terror on Totten, which was very cool, very random.
It was free, and it was very well done for a free haunt.
Yeah, so I'm a Queens guy. Been here a very long time.
Queens man.
I've never heard of this fort. Like, I've never heard of this place, and I've never heard of this haunt. And it's run by the NYPD, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, we had no idea.
Yeah, we had
we were
no
just
clue.
like, yeah.
So it's cops run it, which is cool, whatever. And they do a great job, dude. I was impressed at just the attention to detail in a haunt. It was very much like a home haunt, but just they had access to a warehouse or a fort in this case. Or a building. But I'll be honest, you know what stuck out to me the most about that haunt was that I thought it was the best way to start a haunt. The guy, and I believe you told me is the guy that's running it. He's giving you the rules like most haunts do.
Yeah, it was good.
And he opens the door to the haunt and goes, "We lied. This is a winter wonderland." And the first room is like this Christmas room, like fully decked out with like a fireplace and Santas and Christmas. It was hilarious. I was like, is something going to jump out at us? And no, it was just a Christmas room.
It's just literally like a fake living room made up of Christmas.
It was great. And there was like fake snow, like taped to the walls. It was great. That was like what stood out to me the most of like when it came to that haunt. Like you said, it was free. You cannot beat a free haunt, and it was a decent length. Yeah, and we went together.
It was literally could not go wrong for a free haunt. It's worth your time going to.
Yeah. It was. If you live in New York, like New York City, Long Island, tri-state area, I'd recommend it. Would you?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if you're in this area and you're like, hey, what haunt to do? It's free. There's no payment at all. I didn't even see a donation tray, which I was surprised to not see that somewhere. But yeah, it was free, so can't beat that. We both had a good time that night. They were playing some DMX They were setting the mood.
Hell of a music choice. Hell of a music array there.
They were really setting the mood there. I was creeped out, I guess. I don't know. That's not Rough Riders anthem. I love that song. Never get tired of hearing it. So,
nope.
Dave, what are some haunts you went to? You did mention, I think, you mentioned one or two, I believe, in previous episodes of the podcast. But give us a recap.
We did all right. We really did. We truly did a lot this October, and like we started off. I mean, technically, I think it was a little before. It was like right before October started, but we went to Dorney Park. We did the Dorney Park / it's called Halloween Haunt, and we went to that 2 years ago before the pandemic. The year before the pandemic, and we had a great time doing it. So when we were planning on going to an amusement park, I was like, let's wait to the end of September so we can go to like when it's Halloween, so it like ushers in spooky season. And we did that, and it was awesome. The park wasn't that packed, but it seemed to be everybody did what we did. We went late, like later in the afternoon.
Yeah.
A lot of people showed up later in the afternoon, but we still went to like 4. I think we did 4 of the haunts, and there's probably like 8 or something like that. So we did a bunch of them, and they're good. They're well done. Yeah. So we went to Dorney Park. We went to Reaper's Revenge, which is in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and that is literally top 3 haunts I've ever been to. It's a hayride, and then it's a few other haunts when you get out of the hayride. I don't want to spoil it. It's worth your time. It's pricey, and you got to wait a little bit. But once you wait, the whole thing is nonstop. It's about an hour and a half long. Like the haunt itself is like about an hour and a half, and you get your money's worth. So Reaper's Revenge, highly recommended. We went to the Mahoning. I believe we went twice. We saw a special 35 millimeter screening of Pumpkinhead. And then we went to a special, so my girlfriend's a Patreon member of the Mahoning. And they do special, it's called Simplex. And it's a special viewing for Patreon members. And they do one viewing where you could bring a guest. So we saw... That's awesome. What was it? Night of the Zombies, which I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. I think it's also called The Gates of Hell. And it's basically a bite off of Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, it's the same fucking Goblin score and everything.
It's great.
So, yeah, we saw that. And then we went to New York City Comic Con, which was also just another... your sister and I were talking about it. Is like the ultimate way to open up October. Like just to go into October with. And that was interesting because it was like wide open. Usually it's crammed. You're fucking, you're walking behind people. This was not that. And I told Sheila, don't get used to this. It's not going to be like this all the time.
Next year, you're going to have anxiety when you walk through it.
Yep. It was handled very well.
That's good.
We went to Monster Mania, which was a ton of fun. And then, obviously we participated in the Great Pumpkin Project. Shout outs to Adam. We walked around Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, and we left some pumpkins around, and then we went to Terror on Totten, obviously with you, and then Long Island Monster Gallery. We did a lot. I fucking a ton of shit.
Did a lot of shit this year. Between both of us, did a lot of stuff this year. It's kind of crazy, dude. Like you think about it, the month of October and some of September, it's like, goddamn, not enough time. You need like 90 days to start celebrating fucking Halloween.
And I feel bad you get bummed out once November 1st comes along. But then you got to think about it. You're like, look at all the fucking shit you just did. Like,
yeah. You did a lot of stuff.
That's it. So I look forward to the next one, and that's all. So, yeah. What about you, my bud?
I also went, like I mentioned it earlier. I forgot to mention, I went to Salem. And that was, it was a brief Salem trip. We were only there for a few hours. And I've gone, we did a whole, I didn't want to talk about Salem too much because we've done a whole episode on Salem.
That's okay.
Last year, so, but yeah, Salem, again, busy, not as busy as some previous visits. It's always busy in Salem in October, but, we didn't really do much. We just kind of ate in the places we like to eat and went to the shops,
Sure.
It's always good. I've been there so many times, it's like, you kind of know it like the back of your hand.
Right, you know the place.
Yeah. But let's loop around now because we skipped because I was rude and didn't ask you how your Halloween day was. But let's do 2 quick brief reviews of first VHS 94. What did you think of that?
I honestly didn't care for it. There was two things I could say I liked about it. Yeah. I liked I forgot what the name of it was, but I liked the segment with the funeral home. Yes. I just liked that idea. I thought what happens at the end was really dumb, but I liked the idea of that. Also, the final movie, or whatever you want to call it, the final tape segment. That was I actually loved that one. I thought that one was like really good.
That was the best one.
I'm not going to ruin anything. One. So what about you?
I feel like 2.5 of the segments were cool. The wraparound sucked. The wraparound of those movies are always terrible.
Horrible.
They're pretty lackluster. I really enjoyed again, to not spoil it too much, I guess, but the Borg robot POV, basically a video game come to life, that segment. That was fucking... It reminded me of like what a video game... Like, it's like playing a video game, basically.
It was silly.
Silly, but in a good way. Like, silly in like a Ricky the story of Ricky way. Like, excessively gory and ridiculous. So I appreciated that one. Same thing with you. I loved the funeral home one. The concept of filming, like what was happening and then no one showing up. And then the ending, I agree with you, is kind of silly.
Very silly.
I almost was like, at one point I was like, what? What the fuck happened? Like, what? Okay, whatever. So I agree. 2 of the segments to me were cool. And the last segment as well was I think the last segment's probably the strongest one, right?
100%.
100. Yeah, it's like you're watching this movie for the last segment and then pieces of the previous segments. That first segment, it seems like that's the one everyone's loving, with that rat monster.
It was funny.
So stupid. It was dumb.
It was
I don't know, maybe
stupid.
That's just not. Maybe I just didn't get it. I was just kind of like, whatever. But what about Halloween Kills, which I think was like the main big Hollywood movie for October in the Halloween season? What'd you think of Halloween Kills? Don't get too much in. We won't get too into it because we are reviewing all the Halloween movies over on Patreon, and we're nowhere near that one yet. But just brief review. What'd you think of the movie of Halloween Kills?
Okay, so I don't think there's too many. I'm literally gonna read my Letterboxd review right now.
Okay, let's hear it.
I gave it 3 stars, and this is why I gave it 3 stars.
Okay.
My rating and review is strictly for the first hour of this film. The first act is very enjoyable, and I love the flashback scenes and opening, but holy shit, does bad writing or opting to intentionally write a shittily bad last act to make a sequel ruin this film. Great score and fun blood can't save it, though. That's what I thought of Halloween Kills.
I totally agree with that. Like for me, the flashback, I guess that's kind of a spoiler. The flashback is the best part of the movie. 100. The music,
1,000,000%,
spot on. The lighting, the cinematography, the look of Michael Myers. There's a cameo of some. I'm sure most people that are listening to this have already seen it. But the cameo that they snuck in there was great. Yep. They did a phenomenal job with that. I wasn't expecting that. So I was like, shit.
No, I don't think anybody was.
I was like, oh, shit, they went there with that, which was really cool. And they like, when it comes to doing stuff like that, it could look very kind of weird and hokey, but they were able to pull it off very well. As far as the rest of the movie go, the way I would describe it is like Michael Myers, John Wick, Michael Myers. First thing, dude, my man, they had like fucking choreography for some of those fight scenes with Michael Myers, I guess, and like dumb characters, just idiotic choices. Like the characters are just so dumb. I don't know why they went that direction with it to make it so hokey. I did appreciate like Anthony Michael Hall's Tommy Doyle. he was so over the top.
I was not expecting him.
He was like an exploitation version of like a revenge character, like a Charles Bronson character. Like, we're gonna do this right now. Like, I'm doing this for you, Laurie. I'm fucking going after him for you. Like, I was like, okay, this is where we're going with this and the whole mob thing. Again, there was a good movie in there. It's far from the best Halloween movie and far from the worst Halloween movie.
Yes.
I wouldn't call it the worst, and I wouldn't call it the best. But I did think there was parts of it that were enjoyable. The 2018 one was much better, a superior film. And that one isn't...
I liked this one more than the 2018 one. I didn't care for the 2018
See,
one.
I thought 2018 was a better made movie. Script was stronger. Okay. I thought it was just a better made film. This one is more like... This is like the exploitation version of a Halloween movie, which I loved. It's like if Savage Streets was a Halloween film, it would be Halloween Kills. It'd be like Michael Myers just slaughtering fucking people, and then this group of people trying to get revenge. And then then it's a very dark film. It doesn't have a happy ending. So it's, again, not the best, not the worst. When we're done with all the Halloween films, I definitely want us to
properly rank them.
Rank them. We are going to. We've ranked them a little bit on our Patreon episodes, but like what we've covered so far, but like a full episode of us ranking them, and why. But yeah, not great, not bad. I don't want to get too into it because we are going to eventually do a more in-depth review or an analysis of Halloween Kills, but. Mediocre sequel, but had a lot of redeeming qualities and some not so redeeming qualities.
Absolutely.
And one thing I want to touch on too, before we'll close out this episode soon. We've got a couple other things here I want to talk about. Is the Halloween special that we did? It was the first ever Haunted Hangover Halloween special. We had a lot of people involved in this year. It was a lot of work. I put a lot of goddamn work into this Halloween special. I treated it as a somewhat of like, I treat it like I do my film projects in a way. But, I just want to give everyone like a shout out that was involved. Forever Bogus, It's Them Boys, Retroplasm. Who else was in it? Queens of
NC-17.
Jay from Sludge Central.
Grip Hook.
We had a lot. Louvers was in it. There's a lot of people. Halloween is Forever popped up in there. Gave us a little, gave us a little banner, a little shout out. Happy Halloween bumper there. I mean, everyone, just want to give everyone everyone. If you guys are listening to this, thank you so much for being a part of it.
Tommy Valley with his pumpkin carving.
Pumpkin carving. Pumpkin spice carving. Tommy Valley we snuck him in there with his little project. But yeah, just want to thank everyone for being a part of it. It was a lot of fun. It was something I always wanted to do. And as Haunted Hangover has grown over the last 2 years, I was like, you know what? I think this is the year where I can start doing this. And I want to make it an annual thing. And I already know what next year's is going to be.
Perfect.
I'm going to start working on the script soon. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be just something we do every year. I hope you guys enjoyed watching Dave and I stuff our faces with a bunch of garbage. We ate a bunch of terrible Halloween food, Halloween junk food. It was fun. Okay. It was fun to shoot that too.
Worth it.
That was a fun little shoot. Yep. Obviously Sam and Howard kind of were the horror hosts. They were the hosts of the whole special. And if you guys, enjoyed it, please go over to the Halloween special on YouTube and leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought. If you didn't like it, let us know too. We take criticism. That's cool. Not a problem at all. If there's something we could have done better, let us know. But yeah, and next year, I'm going to tell you right now, a little tease. A year before, next year's Halloween special is going to be an interesting one.
Okay.
I can't wait to start working on it. I'm going to start again. I'm working on the script soon. I want to get the script done fairly early because I'm going to be taking a more cinematic approach with next year's Halloween special, Haunted Hangover Halloween special. So definitely got to keep your eyes. Obviously, you won't hear about anything probably till a few months from now, but it's already in the vault. I'm already working on it. So
Okay.
But real quick, Dave, one other thing I want to talk about. What's something you wish you did but you didn't get a chance to do? Is there anything?
I was thinking about it. So this is kind of, I have two things, and I don't want to say it's more so I wish I did. Mm-hmm. It's more so something that I was like, I don't know how to explain it, so I guess I'll just say it this way.
Yeah.
So the last Mahoning trip that we went to was the last Patreon Simplex viewing, which was when was that? That was the second or third week. I believe it was the third week of October, and that was the last. Unfortunately, and not honestly, unfortunately in a bad way, but it sucks because that's the last time we're getting to go to the Mahoning until they open again in April. Because Halloween night, that's it. They're done. It, yeah. Their season stops. So I remember I was on my phone and I was like, you got to be kidding me. They're showing a double feature of Psycho and Halloween 2. All on 35 millimeter.
That's amazing.
And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And I think that was on Devil's Night.
Wow.
So that was the Devil's Night showing.
I would have went to that one.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I kind of wish I got a chance to go to the Mahoning, on Halloween or Devil's Night. Yeah. And I did actually get to go to the Mahoning on Devil's Night last year. Yeah. And that's how I met Sheila. So, it's just a really cool atmosphere to be in on something very, very close to Halloween. So I don't want to say it would have been cool to go there again. Yeah. But also we did so many cool things. We went to Chris's party on Devil's Night. So I can't really say one's better than the other. What I just mean is I wish I would have got to go. I wish I could have just went to the Mahoning one more time. But I think that's really it. I also wanted to go to another haunt, but another $70 haunt, but I mean that's a lot of money to throw away. That's about the only thing that I could say I wish could have done more or whatever.
Yeah.
What about you?
For me, it's more so just I wish I could have done one more haunt as well, because I like to review them on here. I like to review them on YouTube and on the podcast feed, which was a new format for us. And I want to get you in on some of them in the future, some of these haunts, when I review them. I wish I would have done maybe one more. I did a few, but if I could have squeezed maybe one more in there, that would have been awesome, maybe in September. Right. Usually I do one in September, and this year I didn't do that because I'll be honest, just this year was kind of chaotic, and not in a good way. There was a lot of good in my personal life. A lot of good stuff was happening, so it was just very chaotic in that sense. But next year, definitely try to maybe do one a little earlier, mid-September maybe, if I can figure it out. If there's any haunts that listen to our show and want to give us some free passes, we'll gladly take them and review your haunt. So
absolutely.
Throwing that out into the universe. But the other thing I think, and this kind of goes back to what I was talking about, kind of mentioned earlier, is just maybe watch some more movies and kind of just have some home time where I could sit on the couch. And Andrea and I could maybe watch, a Halloween movie or something. We usually watch The Guest every October because we love The Guest. It's one of the first things we watched when we first started dating, and do that. But a lot of the times when I watch movies, I've been watching a lot of the Halloween movies because we've been covering them. Mm-hmm. So I was looking at my letterbox in September. It's Halloween 4, Halloween 3, it's 5. So it's kind of been all right, I'm revisiting these Halloween films, which is always good, but maybe some other stuff. So maybe next year, start a little sooner and just watch some and I want to watch some weird shit, some movies I haven't watched in a while, some deep cut horror films, so next year for sure, and a haunt.
Yeah.
What do you hope for next year? Is there anything you've mentioned you're planning? Is there anything you want to do next year that you're hoping to do?
Well, listen, I can't talk because plans can change, but I do think we already talked about going to Salem next year. We're doing Salem. We want to do Haunted Overload. We do want to try to go to the Mahoning on either Devil's Night or Halloween next year. Yeah. So we've been talking about that. Definitely doing a costume again. I honestly, what I hope for Halloween is more sense of it's a general overview. Is that I want to see more, like, I don't mean this in a bad way, but I want to see more hijinks. I want to see more kids like being out there at like 10, 11 o'clock at night in their hoodies and their backpacks running after their friends.
Yeah.
I want to see that. That to me is Halloween.
Yeah, of course.
And I feel like I haven't seen that really. I did see a couple of kids, like when we were leaving last night.
Yeah.
A few kids walked by and I was like, this is what I'm talking about.
Those are those bad kids.
This is the content that I want. But I want to see more of that. So that's what I hope for.
Yeah.
So I always have a general, like, okay, October's coming up. I can't wait to see where this goes. That's always my attitude with it. So
yeah,
that's that's all I can really say about it. How about you, bud?
Really, the only thing I'm trying to do next year is I want to go to New Orleans.
Okay.
Or be in New Orleans on Halloween. I hear it's a great place to go on Halloween, similar to Salem. I don't know if it's as chaotic. My sister, like Sam, she talked about it when she was on our last episode. She talked about, how much fun she had. That's something I want to do next year. I'm looking forward to Halloween Ends, if it's released next year, to see how the fuck they end this trilogy after this Halloween Kills movie. I'm very much curious. It's supposed to come out next October. I don't know if that still stands, because I know this last movie was delayed, but I'm curious. Like, where the fuck are they going to end these three new movies? So
we'll see.
But yeah, that's probably it. I might be getting married, or I'm supposed to be getting married next October. So that's a big thing. That's number one. That's the number one on the list. But yeah, just New Orleans. We're trying to go to New Orleans on Halloween, or around or close to Halloween. That's something her and I have been wanting to do. We've been talking about it for a little while now. So hopefully that comes to fruition and that ends up working out.
Evil dies tonight!
So that was our 2021 post-Halloween episode. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram and Twitter @Haunted Hangover, and check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/hauntedhangover31.
And if you can rate and review us, that would be greatly appreciated.
And remember, the best cure for a hangover is
more booze.
Later, guys.